What is up, my dudes? Hello. I hope you're all doing well and just chilling, sitting back, enjoying life. Am I right? Today I have a video that I've been thinking about for a while, and it's kind of based off of like what I think that people want to see from me, but I don't know. Always feel free to leave more video suggestions in the comments. However, today we're going to talk about building your dream wardrobe and just like tips and stuff I've learned in trying to develop my own wardrobe. Just a little chat, you know? I feel like I'm finally at a point where I can say like I have my dream wardrobe. There's nothing else big that I really feel like I'm missing in my wardrobe. I'm very happy when I look at my clothes and my wardrobe, and I feel like my style is at a point where I'm happy with it. It's good, it's great, feels good to kind of have like the style that I always envisioned for myself. So I figured I would give you guys some tips of stuff that I followed and still follow, have followed, will continue to follow, to kind of build and like maintain this dream wardrobe, whatever, on a budget, because I'm not rich. Like, I'm a college student, was a high school student, and was still able to get some pieces that I really loved. Hopefully this makes it to the internet, because anytime I've written notes for a video, I hate it. But I have some very loose notes of stuff I want to touch on. First, I guess the biggest tip would be to identify your style. Identify what you would wear, what you like to wear. And this is a very kind of loose identification. Like, I'm not talking about like I'm cottagecore, I'm goth, or anything else like that. I more so mean it in a way of like identify what you personally tend to like and gravitate toward. It doesn't have to fit in a specific niche. Like, it doesn't have to be like streetwear or tech wear or anything. Just like identify what you like wearing, what makes you feel good. For me personally, I feel the most confident and like the best in like baggy jean and a hoodie, a t-shirt, like a cardigan, stuff like that. That's what I tend to gravitate towards when I go into my wardrobe on any old day and pick out something to wear. Tends to fall within that category. I think that's definitely important to keep in mind when you're like shopping for your dream wardrobe, because if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll just buy random stuff that doesn't fit your style, you know? And along with that, I'd say think of brands that you really like and really fall within your style. For me, that's Hysteric Glamour, that's Stussy, that's Stray Rats. I like a lot of streetwear brands. I like a lot of Japanese fashion. I'd say keep that in mind as well, because it gives you a better idea of what you're looking for. And just on that note, oftentimes, like when I'm watching dream wardrobe videos, I feel like a lot of the time they're going off of other people's style and like their style icons and like what they wear, which I think is fine. And it can be very easy to like look at someone else's style and be like, oh, that's what I want to be my style. But I feel like it just doesn't work like that. You're gonna end up not really wearing what you buy if you're kind of just like going through Pinterest and looking at or trying to recreate other people's style rather than like find your own, which can definitely be a kind of combination of a bunch of different things you see on Pinterest and like all your different inspiration. But trying to copy like a specific style verbatim, same with like trying to copy a specific aesthetic verbatim, I feel like it just never works out, you know? Like, you end up not feeling super connected or true to what you're wearing or whatever. And I'm speaking from experience. Like, anytime that I've looked at someone as like, I want their style, I've gotten stuff that just aren't very true to me. I don't really wear often, like in hopes of recreating this like fantasy Pinterest style that does not exist in real life. I think that it's very important to like figure out what's true to you and, you know, borrow pieces of all of like your different inspirations, whether that be stuff on Pinterest, celebrity fashion, brands you like, and kind of find a way to fit that into your own style. So that was my tip number one. And my next tip is to gradually build your wardrobe. The main thing that I've noticed that just completely throws me off in these like building my dream wardrobe videos is that the person will just like scroll through Pinterest a bit and then go to a bunch of different sites and drop like 2K on a bunch of clothes like in one night, or like even like in a week's time span, which I just think is like, Obviously no judgment, you can do whatever you want, but like, wow. And even like a lot of people have been asking me if I could do like a shop with me on Depop video where I buy stuff, but like that's just not how I shop. It may seem like I'm constantly buying a ton of stuff and like probably in a short period of time, but I'd say that I very slowly choose pieces that I want, and I never really buy more than one thing at a time, I guess. I don't really go to sites and just drop a ton of money on one specific site or anything, because I think that it's very easy to outgrow a wardrobe or not really like the clothes you have if you bought them all at one time when like your style was all one certain way. If you buy clothes pertaining to one specific trend, like say I bought my summer wardrobe now and I got all these funky printed clothing, these pants, these button downs and stuff like that, eventually it's gonna go out of style, especially if you're buying it based on stuff you see on Pinterest or Instagram and like fashion inspo at the time. When it's not trendy anymore, you're just not gonna wanna wear it, and then you're gonna end up buying a whole new wardrobe again, or just wearing clothes that you're not really feeling anymore, you know? So I think gradually building a wardrobe, buying maybe like 1 or 2 pieces a week rather than buying 12 pieces in one sitting, can help you to like build a wardrobe that slowly is like reflecting your changes in style, your different preferences and stuff like that. I have clothes from when I was like in high school that I still really wear now and would still consider to be a part of like my core dream wardrobe, because I've slowly like gathered different pieces rather than dropping a lot of money all at once. I think that by gradually getting rid of pieces and getting new pieces rather than cleansing my wardrobe or purging my wardrobe and like buying a whole new wardrobe at once really allows you to kind of, one, get more of a feel for like any changes in your style. Say you're trying to shift your style a little bit to include more statement pieces or of a different style, you're trying like darker looks or stuff like that. If you were to just go and buy a brand new goth wardrobe, let's just say, and you decide you don't like it anymore or that just doesn't suit you, then you're stuck with a bunch of clothes you don't really like that you got based off of impulse or a trend, rather than say you want to capture more goth style, slowly easing your way into like more corsets, more types of bondage pants, like slowly garnering a collection rather than trying to build it all at once only to realize that you don't really like it or that like it was just a phase or you outgrew it or stuff like that. And number 3, which kind of goes along with my last point, is that you should have like a rotating wardrobe. By that, I kind of mean when you get new clothes, you should also be kind of getting rid of some of your older stuff in the process. And by older, I don't even necessarily mean like clothes from when you were in middle school, because let's be honest, no one wants to buy that. I mean like clothes you might have bought last season. You've loved them, you've worn them, they've been great to you, but you're willing to let them go to kind of have some newer pieces for this season or for next year or stuff like that. I think it's kind of tricky because you have to gauge when is the right time to sell something. Like if you hold on to something for too long and then decide to sell it, like the trend will be over or whatever it is for a lot of pieces and nobody will really be looking to buy it. Selling clothes that you no longer feel as attached to or super strongly about, and then using that money that you got from selling your old items to get new stuff is a good way to change up your look, I guess, a little bit on a budget. It can be hard to buy new clothes or to like find the money to buy new clothes, but if you kind of sell clothes you already have and use that money to buy new clothes, it's not really like you're buying new clothes, it's kind of just like recycling, you know, or like swapping in a way. So you don't really have to put new money towards it, or if you do, it's a smaller amount than if you were to just buy new clothes cold turkey, I guess. And when I had like no money, no job, I was like in middle school, I started selling clothes on Poshmark and I realized like, oh, this is the way that I can like buy new clothes. I think it's specifically helpful like if you just don't have any money, period. And it goes along with my last point, because if you're gradually taking in clothes, gradually getting rid of clothes, evens out, works out like a little cycle, you know? It's pretty much what I do a lot. I think that now that I have a job and stuff, I'm able to put some more of my own income, I guess, into buying new clothes, but I still mainly buy new clothes because I sell my old ones, and that's how like I have money to buy new clothes. Okay, number 4, this might be the biggest like realization or kind of thing that has changed my wardrobe in the past couple years, like for sure, and that's to just don't buy stuff in store. It's been easy for this past year because I've just been in quarantine, but even like online shopping, I would just say like don't shop retail. Like don't buy stuff in a mall, in a store, on a retail website. I do sometimes, but when I do, it is very like rare and it's very deliberate. It's because when you go into a store, you're kind of sifting through what they have to offer and you're trying to fit it into your own style. However, when you shop on Depop, eBay, like online, and you're looking for a specific piece that you have to search up, it's a thing that you specifically want rather than just trying to work with what you have. In the past, when I like wasn't as big into shopping online and I was about 50-50, I would buy random stuff in a store, like if I went to the mall with my friends, if I had an event to go to. A lot of the time it would be like stuff off the clearance rack or the sale rack because that's what I could afford, or just be like a splurge on a regular ass top, like $40-50 on like a sweater from Zara, or like $15 like on a tank top. I realized as I started to shop online more, like on Depop and like secondhand sites like that, that $15 or $50 can go a lot farther online than it can in store, and you're buying stuff that's more specific to you and your style rather than just like whatever fast fashion stuff is being put out. My exceptions to this is like if a brand I really like is releasing new things like Golf Wang or Stray Rats, I'll like buy it retail because I know I'm gonna love it and it's kind of different than like fast fashion stuff. I think the last time I shopped online at a fast fashion store was like a year ago, and everything I bought still has a tag on it. I did not wear it. And that is just such a lesson to me to like never do it again. There's of course also thrifting. That's another exception to my rule. I thrift shop in a store because obviously it's a thrift store. You go to it and you thrift. But that's pretty much the extent of me shopping in a store for clothing. You know, a thrift store is cheaper. It's not like I'm dropping $50 on a sweater. I'm dropping $5 on a sweater, which is a lot more reasonable. And then if I don't wear it as often, it's not like this big gaping hole in my bank account. Although you should mindfully thrift and get stuff that you think you would like really wear, but thrifting allows you to be a lot more experimental with what you pick up and not really feel the burn as badly in your wallet. So thrift shopping and not buying clothes in a store is what really kind of changed the game for me in like building my wardrobe, especially when I was like on a very tight budget. I think it just really cuts out a lot of those like random impulse buys. My next point is that when you're choosing what to buy, be very selective. I'd say buy items that would hold their value, especially if you're trying to rely on like reselling some of your older items like on Depop or Poshmark or eBay, stuff like that. Nobody is looking for an American Eagle tank top on Depop. I'm sorry, but just nobody's looking for it. And I know as someone who has like tried to sell that stuff, nobody's looking for like a random Forever 21 or Princess Polly skirt. It's just not really what people are looking for. And even if they are, they're trying to pay like $5 for it, which is really not much. And it won't really give you that like leg up in trying to use that money to buy new things, you know? So I really recommend buying things that would hold their value and things that are still like somewhat sought after, whether it's like vintage or from a brand that's kind of mid-tier or like holds value somewhat more than like a fast fashion brand. Also, take care of your clothes. Wash cold, air dry is what I do for all my clothes, and they stay in pretty good shape. Please don't put your clothes in the dryer. Just don't. It ruins them. and I wouldn't recommend it, but that's just my personal preference. And lastly, please remember that like clothing is material items. It won't cure your depression. It won't make you new friends who like you for you. It won't change your life. It's kind of just stuff you wear. It's really not that important. And like I'm saying this from experience, as I've tried to use like clothing and fashion to like fill many voids and holes in my life. And I don't even mean to like get deep on you, but like if you're trying to fix something in your life by buying clothing and stuff, you will never be satisfied. Just remember that it's just clothes. You don't become any cooler because you wear a certain thing. Have fun, be true to yourself. And yes, I hope that these tips were helpful. I hope that this video was like good. Let me know if you enjoyed it, or even if you didn't. Like I'm just trying to get a feel for like some other type of videos that I could do. Let me know if you want a part 2 also, because I'd definitely be down to go more in depth or give you some more tips because I have them. And yeah, I really appreciate you for watching. If you made it to this point, thank you, love you. Thanks for stopping by and watching my little video. Hope you gained something from it to change your perspective a little bit. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay well, and I will see you in the next one. Laters.